Hi there, BookTube! My name is Christina and today I'm here with the general wrap-up of 2019, and I will be filming two videos today, so you will see this outfit like twice in a row, but who cares? And today I'm gonna speak about the worst. So I'm gonna tell you what are the worst delusions of 2019 for me, which means that they're not books that were published necessarily in 2019. I believe that none of them were. And then it doesn't mean that they are like the worst books ever. It's just that they were delusions. I mean, I expected much more from them, and they ended up just not meeting my expectations. So that's the reason why these titles are here, and I have 4 books about which I want to talk to you. So let's start with the very first one, and the only one that I still own in physical form. So yeah, I've already got rid of those, so you've probably seen something about it already in my unhaul. But the first book that I have here is Wildwood Dancing, and it was a huge just miss for me because it's by Juliet Marie. She's an amazingly loved author here on BookTube. She writes prevalently fantasy, I believe, and I heard so many good things about her, and I owned this book and its companion, and it was just not what I was expecting. Some parts of it was fine, like for example, I wasn't expecting it to be set in Transylvania, and I enjoyed that aspect. But then a lot of other things, I just didn't like those, and it dragged me, and I was so slumpish while I was reading this book. It never ended, and there were so many things that I just genuinely didn't like, that now I still own this book because the cover, I love this artwork, it's amazing, and I own the companion, so now I have to decide what to do with this one, because I don't want to get rid of a book that I've never read if I own it in a physical form. So I just have to like get my courage and read it this year or the next one, at least start reading it, and then maybe DNF it, and then I will decide what to do with these two copies, because they are both beautiful outside, but the inside isn't for me. So if you want to know more, you may just watch my video about this book. I have a whole review, and you may listen to me talking about each and every point that I didn't like in this one. The second one isn't a surprise, and it's one of the first books that I've read in 2019. I unhauled this book, so I never have to see it again in my life, and it's 13 modi di vedere una ragazza grassa, or 13 ways of seeing a fat girl, watching a fat girl, something like that. Again, this was a cover buy, so that's, together with this one, is a great lesson. If a cover is good, not necessarily the content is good. I knew nothing about this book except for the fact that the cover was really on point. I loved the art, it was a little bit creepy, very beautiful, and I hope that the book, due to the title, was about like body positivity or an empowering story of someone who is a fat girl and who, I don't know, lives a life and shows to everyone that size doesn't matter until you're in a healthy condition. And I don't know, I was expecting something else, and I really hated the book. I rated it probably like 2 stars, 1 star because the author knew how to write, and 1 because I felt too bad rating it just 1 star. So it's 2 stars probably on Goodreads, but I really disliked it. There was nothing similar to a positive message, and even if the intent of the author was to actually show like the rough part and the, I don't know, the hard part of a life, and just to show you that things cannot always go like in the right direction as you expect, and that there are difficult moments in a life, it wasn't done in a proper way, in my opinion, of course, and it was just depressing, and the actions of the characters were never judged in a positive or negative way, and you almost feel like there is no purpose to the book at the end of it. So no, I don't like it, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. The third book, unfortunately, is by Victoria Schwab, and again, I'm very disappointed because as for Wildwood Dancing, being the author so very famous, I was really expecting more, and unfortunately again it was my very first experience with this author. I know that I will for sure read something else by V. Schwab. It's her middle grade, it's the first middle grade that she writes. I listened to it as an audiobook and it was just disappointing. Nothing really caught my attention. Nothing made me laugh. It was so average. It was this story about a girl who can see ghosts and her parents, they're ghostbusters, so the potential is all there to be an amazing fun adventure of misunderstandings, and I don't know, a lot of stuff can happen with this kind of premise, and nothing happened out of what I was thinking. And the characters, they were quite plain, so no, a delusion, a disappointment for me. And the last one is a whole trilogy actually, and I'm disappointed because of the fact that it was a disappointment, because I really wanted to love it with my whole heart, and it's the Paper Guts trilogy. I finished this trilogy in 2019 and I'm just so disappointed by it, because it is set in Japan. It is a fantasy. We follow a girl who is American and she travels to Japan, where she just starts seeing and experiencing this strange kind of magic. It's paper magic, so there are Japanese gods, kind of gods, kamis, who are living among us, and people who are kamis, they may use paper and ink as a way of showing their power, and there is the Yakuza, and so many amazing elements that are put together, so you may really identify with the girl from the West coming to the East and experiencing Japanese culture and living there, and the magical element. It's just potentially amazing, and it was just meh, really meh. I so hoped to love it, but it was nothing very special. The cover is amazing. I love the first cover, so the second one. I don't know why the third one is black, like we have a white theme and then it's suddenly black, so the books apparently don't match. But the problem is the plot, because I really was expecting more action, more consequences for the things that were happening. I don't know, something more magical, more involving, and it was just plain and kind of not interesting. So that's probably my worst disappointment. I hated 13 Ways of Seeing a Fat Girl, but the most disappointing probably is this one, because I really wanted to love it. The first book was so, but I really hope that the series will pick up, and it never did. So these are the 4 books, kind of 3 books and trilogy, that are my worst disappointments of 2019, and I hope that there will be very little disappointments in 2020. I really hope for it to be a great reading year. And let me know down below, what are your disappointments? They don't have to be bad books, just something that let you down, something that you were expecting made in a different way and written in a different way in a book. Just let me know down below, and this is it. The next video will be for sure more positive, because I will be talking to you about my favorites and most surprising books of 2019. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Ciao!